A very good morning to all the students. Hope you all have been doing the studies properly for the previous classes of RO level online lecture series through various teachers of this region. Dear students, I have come to you back after a small gap. Previously, I have already taken the database unit for IP and CS, and after that you all have studied two more units through three teachers of our region. You have already studied Introduction to Computer Networks, then you studied the societal impacts. These two units have been discussed well, and I hope you all have made the proper notes of everything taught here. You all have practiced well the required things, and you all are ready for the coming test also to be taken by the teachers. We all are planning for short test to be assigned to you people through your teachers, and then making you practice for such online activities. You all are cooperating very well, participating in all the online classes and utilizing them. Students, before starting as usual, I would again like to say be ready with your notes, copy and pen, because it is very important to note down the things so that you have them in their long-term memory. Coming to our actual discussion of today, I like to start with the presentation part, and here it comes. In today's discussion, I will be talking about Unit 1, and I have given it a subtitle of Part 1. It is data handling using pandas and data visualization. DH using pandas 1, in short, I term it as. So, in this today's lecture, we are going to discuss DH using pandas 1. Let us understand what is the importance of this unit in your syllabus as well as in your day-to-day programming life. Students, this unit 1, as you are able to see, this portion I have taken from our CBSE curriculum of 2020-21, the latest one, and you can see it is of 30 marks. Yes, just see the whole column. This is of maximum marks, that is 30 marks, and so I think it needs more attention and more discussion because it is a bit lengthy unit also as compared to the other three units. So 30 marks, the first importance. Then what are the things you are going to learn here? What will be the learning outcomes? So let us see what will be the learning outcomes. It is already mentioned by CBSE also, and I am repeating it. What is the learning outcomes? So here, after the end of this series, you will be able to create the series data frames, and you will be able to apply the various operations on these things. I am selecting a good pointer option for you people. Let's see how it comes in my PPT, because the highlighter was not working so well previously. Still, highlighter is easy for me to use. That is why I prefer highlighters on the PPT. Okay, it's ready here. So, learning outcomes will be creating the series data frames and apply various operations on them. Then you will have to learn, and you will learn, I believe, performing the aggregation operations, calculating the descriptive statistics, visualizing the data using relevant graphs. So these three lines, they summarize whole of your DH data handling unit. Next, this is the detailed portion of Unit 1, and today we will start from this part, Introduction to Python Libraries, and then Yes, it is here. Data structures, then series, and I am trying to discuss up to this portion today. So, from introduction to Python libraries, we will be trying to come up to the series creation and various parts of the series up to indexing and slicing. So, let us start. For that, because this will be a bit theoretical type of discussion today, please note it down well. These noted things will be practiced in our practical session as we did in our database part. We learned and then we did the practicals. And this is the best way of learning also. You require to know the theories, you require to know the things and then apply them. So let us start learning it. Before coming to the fine details, I want to discuss what is the importance of Python and then what is the importance of Python pandas. Why are we going to learn these pandas? What is this data visualization? These all terms are important. So before going into the fine details, dear students, you must know a term called as data science. What is data science? Think over it, please. What is data science? You know data very well. In the database portion also I said something about data. Raw, fact and figures. That is data. So the data science is the ability to take the data to be able to understand it. We get the data, we need to understand it. We need to process it. And more importantly, we must be able to extract the values from the data. We must be able to visualize the data, what this data is signifying, what it is communicating to us, what is the meaning of a particular data. When I say someone X student has scored 90 marks, what does this 90 marks signifies? It signifies something good or bad. One must know how to differentiate between the information given by the data. So here in this portion we must know what is data science, then only we will be able to understand the importance of pandas and how to visualize the data using these pandas and matplotlib, that is a part of your syllabus. You know, we have data all around us. All the surroundings, they contain the data in various forms and we require to mine them. Mining the data, you know what do we mine? We mine all the precious resources. Similarly, data is also a precious thing, but we require to mine it, then only we are able to understand the cost of data. Until and up till we are able to mine the data and make it structured from the unstructured part, we will not be able to understand the importance of the data. So, we have to mine the data in large amount and then we have to identify the patterns. Then it will increase the efficiency, it will help us to recognize the new market opportunities and then also help us to increase our organization's competitive advantage. Just see, data is not the new oil. Have you heard it? Data is not the new oil. This quotation or this particular collection of words is very important because every modern IT system is driven by capturing, storing and analyzing the data for various needs. You are able to understand it in the current scenario also. It is only the data that is helping us to run the society today. Otherwise, everything has been stopped. We all have been locked down. But only what is flowing is the data. And with the help of data, we are able to continue the societal works and our day-to-day routine. So data is not the new oil. And We are driving, we are being driven, not driving, rather we say we are being driven by capturing, storing, and analyzing the data for various needs. And because this programming language, our Python, this programming language can cater to all these diverse needs of data science. That is why we prefer the Python programming language. Now, why Python? I have already said it is able to cater our needs, the diverse needs of data science. Once again, why Python only? Let us see why. Because it has so many libraries and built-in features which tackles the needs of the data science. The data science is a collection of big data. We have to work on big data. And what is big data? I will talk about it later because it is the talk of today, big data, the cloud data. So the Python has numerous libraries, so many built-in features that help us to tackle these data science activities. The data science activities, it includes the mining of the data, working on the statistics. It works in the field of machine learning. Machine learning is something which is a part of integrated part of today's society. We are able to do lot of analysis, analytics, and of course programming, because without programming, any programming language is of no use. So this is about the data science. I will once again say the definition. It is the process of deriving knowledge and insights from huge and diverse set of data. I already said we have large amount of data surrounding us. And how do we derive the knowledge and insights from this? We have to organize this data. We must know how to process this data, and we must know how to analyze the data. So, organize, process, and analyze. These things are very important. It involves mathematical and statistical modeling also. See data in plain figure and facts. It will not give you a proper output or visualization. But when you add the mathematical and statistical modeling to your data, then only the data looks beautiful and it gives you some proper meaning. So, we have to extract the data from the source and apply the data visualization techniques. This is the whole thing of a data science I am talking about. So it involves handling of so many big data technologies. And what type of data? Both structured and unstructured data. Now let me see what is the structured data and what is unstructured data. Can you think of structured data and unstructured data? I think you people know a bit of it. Okay, do you know the difference between structured things and unstructured things? What do you prefer? Structured or unstructured? Just think. I give you the notes, I teach you in an unstructured manner. How much will you be able to understand? I'll not go to the syllabus point wise. Someday I will teach from unit 1, someday I will teach from unit 4 and someday from unit 3 in a random manner. Will it be fruitful? Or in a structured manner, stepwise, properly arranged teaching is better. See, structured things have their own importance in life. Will you like to see? Let me try to show you. What is this? Bricks. You have seen these type of bricks sometimes around your society when some construction work is going on. What type of structure do you find here? And what is this? See, so many structured arrangement out of these bricks. So what I was saying is visualization techniques, various ways of visualizing the data. This is called as various ways of visualizing. I could have shown you a simple building, but it will not be clear from this particular building picture that what are the visualization techniques. You can arrange the data. This is your data. For a minute, just think this is your data. You can arrange your data in various forms. See various structures. So many structures in front of you. So in various ways you can visualize, arrange your data and then visualize your data, and out of every data arranged nicely or visualized nicely, you get different informations. I hope you agree. From this particular picture you are getting an idea what is structured and unstructured, and what is the meaning of visualization. How do you extract the data? How do you extract extraction? Just see here in these bricks also. All the bricks are not good, maybe may not be utilized well in these structure. Few may have to be rejected. Few more bricks would require some reconstruction or arrangement. So in this way, we require to do lot of work in data science. So data science, it utilizes lot of analyzing techniques, and then as a result you would be able to get so many skills, the hacking skills, the expertise of various things, and then mathematical and statistical things, machine learning, traditional research, danger zone. I'm not talking about. Data is always in danger, and because it is very costly, all the things whichever is costly is in the danger zone. So security features we have to look about. Now let's come to the Python pandas. What are Python pandas? Students, I believe that you have studied few things in your previous class 11th, because the syllabus has been changed in current session. You all are at an advantage. So many things you studied in your previous session has been reutilized and represented here in a different manner in class 12th. I hope you people remember the pandas. And this pandas, Python pandas, the full form as we write is Panel Data System. It is an open source Python library. So you have to remember it is a Python library. It provides high performance data manipulation and analysis tools. It has so many powerful data structures, and through that you can utilize it to analyze and manipulate the data. It was developed by Wes McKinney. Various types of data formats can be read and written by the Python pandas. It can calculate in rows and columns forms. Arrays generally were not having the column headings. They were having only the rows form. But here rows and columns form. We can use pandas to select the subset from the bulky data. And also we can combine multiple data sets using the pandas. As I said, sometimes we have to fill the missing data in unstructured data when we analyze. Sometimes we need to fill the missing data. It helps you to do that too. It allows you various operations on the group of similar same data and supports the reshaping of the data. Reshaping you have already seen in previous slide. Excuse me, sorry. So reshaping of data means arranging the data in a different manner. So we will be using Matplotlib also further. Today our attention, our whole stress will be on the series data type. So in pandas we can accomplish 5 typical tasks. And what are the tasks? Loading the data, preparing the data, manipulating the data, modeling the data, and analyzing the data. What does it mean? Creating data or getting the data from some sources is called as loading the data. When you clean the data, you try to find out the missing data and try to fill it, or try to find out the anomalies in the data. That means we are preparing the data. When we use the data for getting our desired output, we are manipulating the data. When we are presenting our data outputs in the form of data or graph, tabular data or graph. What are we doing? We are presenting the data or modeling the data. And when we are able to find out the appropriate information from the data, that means we are analyzing the data. So 5 steps that we can accomplish using the pandas: load, prepare, manipulate, model and analyze. So you can note it down: loading, preparation of the data, manipulation of the data, modeling and analysis. Why this pandas is so popular? For these features, it is very fast and efficient. It has many tools for loading the data from various file formats, be it a CSV file, be it a database file from SQL, be it any other source of data file formats. Pandas is able to load that data into the memory data objects of Python. It is able to handle the missing data. It helps a lot by reshaping and pivoting of data sets. Some spelling mistake is here, data sets. So reshaping or pivoting. Pivoting means looking to data at a different angle. By aggregating it, by making classifications of the data, and in various ways. We will be able to slice the data. Slice the data means, you know the slices, cutting something into parts. Similarly, data can also be sliced. We don't need whole data sometimes. We only need a part of data. Then we can take a slice of data. We can do the indexing and subset of the data of large data sets using the pandas. New columns can be added or deleted. We can do aggregation, transformations, and merging and joining of data sets. Time series functionality, the scientific terminologies enter here. So just see these key features of pandas. It makes pandas so popular that so many people love to use pandas library of Python. These are the application of the pandas in the field of economics, stock predictions, various recommendation systems that we want to recommend something or not, we have to take the decision. Here the pandas data analysis helps you a lot. When you do some advertising, presenting the data in different manner helps you. Analytics, obviously, analyzing the data in various manner. Natural language processing, data science, big data, statistics, neuroscience. So many fields are utilizing these pandas library and applying all its features to give various results to the society. Why this pandas is popular? Because it is able to provide you the solutions on one-dimensional arrays or one-dimensional data set. It is also able to provide you the processes on two-dimensional data set and then three-dimensional mutable data sets. So we have 3 data structures available with the pandas. What are these data structures? The first one today we are going to study the series, second one the data frame, and third one will be the panel. Is not mentioned here at this moment in your syllabus. Still, series and data frames, that two things we have to study well. Series is 1D homogeneous size immutable data set, while data frame is two-dimensional heterogeneous. Remember, homogeneous, heterogeneous. Homogeneous means similar. So all the objects, all the data sets will be of same type, similar type. While in data frame, it can be heterogeneous. Series is immutable, while data frame is size mutable. You can work on the sizes of the data frame. So coming further, because NumPy will support a lot our pandas library, we will be working on NumPy also. We will be utilizing the features of NumPy. So you must remember what is NumPy. This NumPy library, if you remember, you have studied a lot previous year also. It is being used by Pandas. Pandas builds upon the functionality provided by NumPy. So do not forget this statement. What statement? Import NumPy as NP. You will have to use it at so many places and normally at all the places. NumPy arrays are very popular arrays in Python, and it helps you to perform various functions and routines for mathematical computation on arrays and matrices, and that is why it is popular. Its size cannot be changed. Whenever NumPy array is created, its size cannot be changed. So what type of it is? It is size immutable. NumPy array consists only of the homogeneous types, and that is why this pandas became more popular with its data frame, because it allows you the heterogeneous types. It can store all the data types like integer, float, string, boolean, complex numbers, and all such data types available in your Python. Few examples, a quick view, so that you are able to understand what and where NumPy will be used. For using the NumPy, you require to import the NumPy library like this. Normally we keep this NumPy as NP, so that everywhere we do not require to write NumPy. Here we can use NP in substitute of NumPy. So import NumPy as NP. One alias has been given. This is an array. Printing array.shape, printing the array and declaring various NumPy arrays. These all are the examples, and the outputs are here. This array has been created with the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Output is here. Simply print array gives this. You can relate it here. The shape of this array is 5. That means it is of 5 elements here. Then this is a 2D array. And when I will print it with the statement print array, this is the output. The shape of this array is 2 rows and 3 columns. 2 rows and 3 columns. Then there are various functions, the attributes available with the NumPy to create the arrays, and this is arange function. It helps you to create one NumPy array. This is another method of creating a NumPy array using the arange function, where we give the start value, the stop value and the step value. Why I am showing this to you? So that you remember what were the things you studied previous year also, and you can correlate while working in Pandas. We have a few more NumPy arrays. How to create the NumPy using the empty function. The empty function will give you this particular print method is going to give you the shape of array. I want to create a 3 rows 2 column NumPy array with zeros. I will use the zeros function. Then creating arrays of 1, we can create with the ones np.ones method. So in this way, a small review is done. Also, please remember the basic data types: string, number, list, tuples, dictionary, sets and booleans. Somewhere you must remember all the basics, because a connectivity, a flow in the studies come out to be good when you are connected to your basics. So be back to the basics every now and then, so that you have a good foundation. So let's start the actual Pandas series data structure. What is data structure? A particular way of storing or organizing the data. A predefined organization and storage process gives you a data structure. So I already said Pandas has three data structures: series, data frames, and the panel. Then we'll see some specific purposes here. Series is one-dimensional labeled array. Series is one-dimensional labeled array and it is capable of holding data of any type. It can hold integer, string, float, Python objects, etc. But the access labels are collectively called as index. Here what do we call these access as? Index. A series data type objects have two components. What are the two components? Array and the indices. Array and the indices. These indices are also called as data labels. Formatting problem is here in the part of bullets, but please try to understand. Pandas series can be created using various constructors. Using the constructor, not various. It is pandas.series. So series constructor helps you to create a pandas series. We have to give the data. We have to give the index. We can tell data type, and then if we have to copy it from somewhere. The data can be a Python list. Data can be in the form of a Python list. This data can be in the form of Python list or tuple. It can be a NumPy array, a dictionary, or any scalar values. So what are the things that may come into the data part of a series? We can give a list or tuple. We can give a NumPy array or a dictionary or any scalar values also. So how will you use pandas? To use the pandas, you require to import pandas as PD. Import pandas as PD. And let's see how it starts. To create a pandas series from the integers list, what will be the statement? We are creating a list here. How to create a list? I hope you people remember. List is equal to this square brackets and the numbers of the list. A list is created in this step. Now I want to convert it into the series. So I will give this list as an argument to the series method. And this list, when given as an argument to series method, converts this list into a series called as D1. What it will be converted? It will be converted into a series. And when we print D1, this is our output. See it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know something is added here. What is this? This is something new added here. It was not earlier in the list. Yes, this is called as index or the data labels. What are they called? Index or the data labels. And when we don't give any data label or index, it gives an automatic index starting from 0 up to the number n minus 1. 0 to n minus 1. Automatically index are given. See here, indices are automatically created. Now let's convert the same series. We make it in another way, the same series. Here we used only pandas and provided a list. We are now going to provide a NumPy array. And to use the NumPy, I require to import NumPy also along with our pandas. So I have a list here as usual, the same list. This list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 I still have here. But this time I am converting this list to array. This list has been converted to array and this array ARR has been provided to series. And now this series has been printed. The same thing, the same output, only the data type has been changed. So here index are again automatically created and the series is created. Let's see few more examples. I want you people to note down these examples also. That is why I am not running very fast so that you are able to note at least. For the time being, you must remember importing pandas and numpy whenever required. You have to write it every time in a new application or a program set. We are going to give our own indices. So this time my values are this in the form of numpy array, and these Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I want to make them the index. So I gave the name array value and array key. These are the values. They have been made as a numpy array using the method np.array. I hope you remember this. And then convert it to series by providing the arrays here. The first array value, and the second array key. So you remember, while introducing the series, I said we can use the constructor series. We have to give the values. We can give the index, that is indices. We may give the data type also. So here we are only giving two things, array value and array key. And see, the output is here. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, these all have become the indices. And these values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are the values of this series. I am making one more series with the help of a dictionary now. Here, when you use a dictionary, you don't require to define the indices. Why we don't require? Because automatically the key of dictionary will become the indices. The keys of the dictionary will become the indices. So I have a dictionary here. I am directly giving the dictionary pd.series, and this is a dictionary. I hope you remember how to write a dictionary. In the curly brackets, key colon value pair. So dictionary is a key and value pair, and pd.series has created a series where all the keys January, February and March have become indices, while the the values of the dictionary have become the values of the series. Now the third thing, as I said, we can give a list, we can give a tuple, we can give a numpy array, we can give a dictionary, and we can also give the scalar values. Scalar value means constant values. So here this example is here to show you the scalar values and how it results. This example. Yes, please concentrate here. We have import pandas. We have numpy arrays imported, numpy, and then converting into series. I want to give the scalar value 5. With the indexes 0, 1, 2, 3. I have given 4 indices. 4 indices are here. And let's see what happens when I print this. What happens? These indices 0, 1, 2, 3 is here, and this scalar value has been iterated. How many times? 4 times. जितने भी आपने इंडेक्स दिए हैं उतनी ही बार स्केलर वैल्यू रिपीट हो जाती है. So in this way you can use the single value for all the items. I hope you people are noting it down. Dear students, please do not forget noting down. Because as I said, in our next session or the coming sessions, we will be doing practicals on them. And at that time, I want you people to have these things noted around you so that you can fill the data. Maybe you can do the practical simultaneously with me. So I hope you all are noting it down, please. Okay, so let's proceed further. Creating a series with incomplete data. When sometimes we have no data available for a particular index, then we can enter a NaN value. And how to give the NaN? np.nan. So here I have one array, np.array with few float values. one value is not available with me. So when value is not available, I can always write NaN, not a number, np dot NaN, and when I convert this array into series, just see, this array has been converted into series and then printed. What comes out is this thing. Just see, what comes out is this. Same indices are here, automatically generated indices, because we have not given any index here, but the values given here are available: 2.5, 6.8, 9.3, and this value was NaN. That means not a number or a incomplete data was there. We don't have the data for this. So I have given this as the NaN value. The second thing, range function, the most used range method by all the users and very popular one in pandas. We are going to use it. With these examples, I want to show you how flexible is Python and especially the pandas. And this flexibility only makes it popular. All type of data can be utilized to be converted into series or pandas data structure. Here this range function, range 1 to 15, 3. It will create a set of numbers starting from 1 up to 15 excluding 15. Starting from 1 up to 15 excluding 15 with a step of 3. That means the first number will be 1. A step of 3, that means the next number is 4. The next number is 7, then 10, and then 13. And here in index also I have used a for loop, range and for loop. How flexible, how beautiful. Whatever you have learned, you can utilize. So x for x in A, B, C, D, E. This x will start for every x in A, B, C, D, E, and one by one it will take it out. So first thing is A. Second thing B. Third x is C. Then D and then E. Range method as well as for loop. How flexible, what so many varieties of creating a pandas series is available. That is why I said in the beginning, it can bring the data from any format and then convert it into the memory variables of the Python. Creating a series using mathematical function. See, you can use the calculations also to create a series. You have one array ARR here with this data 2468. pd.series index is equal to ARR and data is equal to ARR into 2. What happened? Index पहले आ गया, data बाद में. और अभी तक आपने क्या देखा था? Data पहले, index बाद में. If you use this way of writing, that means properly telling the index or the data with this assignment statement, you can always change the location. I am again saying how flexible this Python is. Even sometimes I am amazed to see it. So index is same ARR, that means index has to be 2, 4, 6 and 8. 2, 4, 6 and 8. And data is 2 times of the array. So 2 will be multiplied across this. 4, 8, 12 and 16 is the outcome, and we created a series. Let us see what more is here in the package. See, NumPy array is quite different when we use it in this manner. I am using a list here and trying to multiply. Remember, when arrays are multiplied, they do the proper multiplication in the arithmetic manner. You remember, you get a question, you have always been given a question, differentiate between the list and arrays. See the difference. List when multiplied by 2, it gives you the twice length of the list. 2368, 2368, 2 times. And same happens with the value part. So here you are able to see the difference between the list and the arrays. It is not necessary that pandas indices be the unique. It is not necessary that pandas indices be the unique. But remember, you should keep them normally unique, because otherwise duplicate indices will have a chance of committing the errors. Whenever we are iterating or referring the indices. So generally we should avoid the repeated index. Though here it is repeated, it accepts. It will not give you an error, but we must avoid. Now, what are the attributes of the series objects? When we create a series has its own objects. You know what we were doing right now? We were creating a series. अभी हमने सीरीज को तैयार करने के, क्रिएट करने के बहुत सारे तरीके देखे. अभी हम देखते हैं कि सीरीज बनने के बाद सीरीज के पास क्या क्या चीजें अवेलेबल होती हैं. What are the attributes that are available with the series objects? उस सीरीज में हम उनके इंडेक्सेस देख सकते हैं. किसी सीरीज में क्या वैल्यूज स्टोर्ड हैं, we can always find out. We can see the number of bytes utilized by that particular series object, the data type of the series, the shape of the series, the size of the series, size of every item of the series. We can see whether the series is empty or has none. Has none means do it contains the NaN values or not. So let us see them with the example. I am trying to show you so many attributes in one or two examples. For example, I have one series here, S1, another series here, S2, and another third series here, S3. S3 is one empty series, S2 is containing one NaN value, and this is a complete series with a few values. Let us see. Size of the series, S1 size and S2 size. This first statement, and the outcome is 5 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Correct? 1, 2 and 3. I have 3 values here. So the size of this series S1 and S2 is 5 and 3. Bytes stored by the series S1 size and S2 size. S1.n bytes and S2.n bytes. I am getting 40. These floats of 5 length, 8 into 5 is 40. And here we have 3 values, and they are the integer type float 32. That means visible. The size in byte for each element is 4 bytes, so it is 12. The second output is also correct. The third one, let's check whether S1 is empty, S2 empty, or S3 is empty. And just see, the first two are not empty, but the third one is empty. Third one is empty. Correct? S1 has nones, S2 has nones. S1 has nones must be false. Yes, it is false. And S2 has nones is true. Correct? It is true here. Then data type of the objects. S1 dot D type, S2 dot. So what is important here? What I want to say is that this dot operator is important. Series dot attribute. How to use them? Series dot attribute. You use a series name, put a dot, and then use the attribute you want to use to see the details of the attributes. So then data type, S1 dot index. What are the indexes of the S1? Indexes are given in the form of output. It starts from 0, stop value is 5, step equal to 1. S1 index, we have not given any index. Still it has calculated automatically the indices here. Because 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 elements are here, their index will start from 0, then 1, 2, 3 and 4. 5 values will be there. So stop value 5. 0 से लेकर 5 तक. 5 is always excluded. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. S2 dot values, printing the values of S2. Okay. One more example. Quickly. This is a series 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the index A, B, C, D, E. I want to see what is the element at SA. Index is A, element is 1. I am able to see here. Element at given level is 1. The output is here. Element using the index. Element at S3. S3. The index 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. That is D. This is the third index. So we can interchangeably use the label name also and the index also. See it here. The label name in single quotation. The label, the value using the index. Both are allowed. Now this slicing. You remember NumPy? Same way here the slicing works. I have two dots. 1, 2. These three things are in the slicing portion. Let us see and understand them. Whenever we want to give a slice, I have three things available with me and all the things are optional. 1, 2, 3. Start. Then I have to have the stop and step. Start, stop and step. Three things I can give. If I give only the start value, it will start from the start value and go up to the end value. If I give only the stop value, the start value will be automatically 0. By default, the stop value is always n. And by default, the step value is always 1. Once again, I am explaining it. किसी भी सीरीज में या इस तरह के स्ट्रक्चर में जब हमें स्लाइसिंग करनी है, हमारे पास तीन चीजें अवेलेबल हैं. इंडेक्स की स्टार्ट वैल्यू, स्टॉप वैल्यू और स्टेप वैल्यू. अगर हमने स्टार्ट वैल्यू नहीं दिया तो बाय डिफॉल्ट वो है 0. अगर हमने स्टॉप वैल्यू नहीं दिया तो टोटल नंबर ऑफ एलिमेंट्स जितने भी हैं वो n उसकी स्टॉप वैल्यू बनती है. और अगर स्टेप नहीं दिया तो बाय डिफॉल्ट 1 is the step value. Now see this one. Print S4. Start value नहीं दी गई है. 0 is assumed by default. Start from 0 to 4. Remember, stop value is always excluded with and included with stop value -1. तो 4 दिया है तो 4 से एक पहले, that means 4 minus 1, 3 तक ही values जाएंगी. So how it works? 0, we have the values here. 0, 1, 2, 3. तो हमारा 0th एलिमेंट 1 और ये जाएगा 4th वैल्यू तक, 3rd वैल्यू तक 0, 1, 2, 3. This is 0 to 4. Now let's see -3. -3 कैसे वर्क करेगा? For -3 we start counting from this portion. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So when we start counting from right, it will be -1, -2, -3. When we start counting from left, it will be 0. From left, the counting starts from 0. From right, the counting starts from -1. So it says start from -3 up to end. So come to -3 first. -1, -2, -3. -1, -2, -3 and it gives you starting from -3 up to end. Movement is always in the right direction. Movement हमेशा right की तरफ होगा. तो -3 से शुरू किया इन्होंने. It contains a 3, 4, 5 end तक. Also, you can retrieve multiple elements using the list of index. I am using index A and C. A has 1 and C has 3. A and C 1 and 3. A has 1, C has 3. So 1 and 3 is the output. In this way, you are able to see that how can we use the attributes of the pandas. One more example of slicing. I am not giving start value, I am not giving stop value, but I have given the step value. These are the values and these are the index here. So from start to end it will start from start only 1, but step of 2, so 3, then 5, then 7. This is your output. Then no start value, no stop value and -1. When I say -1, you know what happens? It starts from the right side. So this is -1 and then -1 in the negative direction. This time the movement will be negative direction. इस बार negative direction में movement होगा क्योंकि यहाँ पर step हमारा -1 है, पीछे जाना है. So it will give you the reverse. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in this way. So this is very popular, well known how to reverse the list or the series. No values in the start and stop and give a -1 here. Very popular. Few more examples are here. I think we must finish it today for our class. Still, just you can see few more examples. You can assign the values. I have here index value 5, the value 5 with the index E. SE is equal to 6. I have assigned a value 6. So when I printed it first, it printed the original value. But after assigning 6, यहाँ पर value change है and the changed value is 6 visible here. कैसे assign किया? Series name, label name or the index name and 6. You can use the index number also. Now how can you modify in the slice form? 0 से 3 तक में हमें 10 input करना है. I want to input 10 starting from 0 से 3. 3 will be excluded. So 0, 1 and 2. इन 3 जगहों पे क्या जाएगा? 10. Okay? Now 4 and 5 is no change. Similarly, you can even change the indexes. Just see, A, B, C, D, E has been changed into M, N, O, P, Q. Index was earlier A, B, C, D, E and you can always change the index like this. Use the head and tail method, very important here. Head and tail method. These methods are asked in exam also. Head methods give you the first 5 elements by default. Tail methods gives you the last 5 elements by default. So हमारी series है 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 10. A, B, C, D up to I, J. Okay. Now S dot head, the first 5 elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. S dot tail. S dot tail will give the last 5 elements. So what are the last 5 elements? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But if I give a number in head or tail, it will give you that many numbers only. अगर आपको केवल 5 की जगह 5 की जगह 6 वैल्यूज चाहिए तो हेड या टेल में आप क्या इनपुट करेंगे? That particular number. For example, head 2 is going to give you only first two values. Tail 3 is giving you last 3 values. Let's see some more things. You can do the additions or multiplications and logical operations, vector operations on the series objects. How beautiful. I have a series here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I said S plus 2. 2 is added to every element. S multiplied by 3. 3 is multiplied to every element. S power 2. See the beauty. S greater than 3. 1 is not greater than 3, so false. 2 is not greater than 3, false. 3 is not greater than 3, false. But other 2 are true. The result is Boolean. You can add the two list with the matching indices. इसके भी इंडेक्स हैं ABCDE, W नाम की सीरीज के भी इंडेक्स हैं ABCDE. तो जब इन्हें ऐड या मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे तो कोरस्पॉन्डिंग एलिमेंट्स में एडिशन या मल्टीप्लिकेशन होता है. लेकिन अगर आपने नॉन मैचिंग इंडिसेस दिया तो कैसे होगा? मैचिंग में इट विल डू द रिक्वायर्ड वर्क. पहले दो इंडिसेस मैच कर रहे हैं, रिक्वायर्ड वर्क यानी एडिशन हो गया, एंड ऑल द अदर्स विल गिव यू अ NaN वैल्यू बिकॉज दे आर नॉट मैच्ड. तो वहां ऑपरेशन नहीं होगा, वहां कोई अरिथमेटिक कैलकुलेशन नहीं होगा. सो दिस इज सो फ्लेक्सिबल. किसी और प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज में हो सकता है ये सब चीजें एरर दे सकती थी, पर पाइथन में एरर्स बहुत मिनिमाइज हो गई हैं. Pandas is working flexibly very nicely. See what is happening here? I have already done, I think, this type of example. You can get a Boolean result. You can filter the entries. For example, print S of S greater than 3. S of S greater than 3. What is happening? इसने internally S greater than 3 को calculate किया. तो पहले के 3 फॉल्स हैं, बाद में ट्रू है. इसमें से केवल ट्रू वैल्यूज को इसने आउटपुट में दिखाया. कब दिखाया? When I write print S of S greater than 3. S of S greater than 3. You can delete a column or a label. Drop C. So this is C here, and for C I have 3 here is dropped. You can change the indexes. See, A, B, C, D is an index. I want to reorder the index. E, D, C, A, B में reorder किया. Values are not changed. E की वैल्यू 5 थी, E की वैल्यू अभी भी 5 है. केवल क्या चेंज हुआ है? अगर हमने इसे चेंज नहीं किया होता ऑर्डर, तो यहां होता A, B, C, D, E 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But after re-indexing, the index E has come first, D has come second, C third, A fourth and B fifth. इंडेक्सिंग का ऑर्डर चेंज हुआ है, कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग वैल्यूज में कोई चेंज नहीं है. So today we have seen the actual part of our syllabus. I once again want to remind you 30 marks. Don't leave it. We have done till this part. We enjoyed this all things in today's discussion. So I hope you all have noted down the required things and will be ready to meet me day after tomorrow with few practicals and few more advancements here. Thank you very much, dear students. Have a nice day.